Thousand Oaks shooting happened, and you never think it's going to happen so close to you and so close to home, and you hear about it, and our thoughts are with them and their families. And I know myself and a lot of teammates and our team will be looking for ways to help and support and really be that, I guess, positive light for these people right now in such a hard time.
Justin?
Sorry to shift gears to football. It kind of feels meaningless, on a day like this. But was this extended break, did it come at the right time for you in terms of, getting right physically? I don't know, I want to assume, but I imagine you feel a lot better going into this week than maybe you did last. Yeah, definitely. I think it was a good 5 or 6 days there after the game to recover and get my body right. Again, I don't want to make any excuses, but just having that minor oblique deal that was bothering me, just getting right on that and feeling good. And then obviously we won't know until Friday or Sunday even, but current look is that no DeAndre this week based on what your coach has said. If you don't have him, I think we can all agree that maybe he's been the most important offensive weapon to you guys, particularly on third down. What are the challenges, I guess, you face in game planning without a player with his caliber on the field? Yeah, never easy. Obviously, he's one of the most dynamic guys in the league, and having him on the ground in the pass game is always helpful. And I know he wants to be out there, but Jamal's ready to step up even more than he has, and so is JJ and Godwin. So they'll be ready to go on that front, and obviously we'll miss them if he can't go, but those guys will be step up and be ready. We've seen so little of Godwin and Jamar, but what we have seen, they've really flashed in those opportunities. What is your confidence level in them, not just running the ball, but pass protection and running outside of the backfield? Really feel good with all of them. They've grown so much since training camp and learned, and even seeing Jamar really become a pro, and I know Godwin's bounced around a little bit, but he's already a pro, and watching those guys work now, it's a lot of fun, and yeah, I feel great with either of them in there. Thanks, Jared.
Dave?
Hey, Jared, just on the side, is there any residual? You feeling anything left, or are you completely healed from that oblique?
We're all kind of sore right now, so it's just kind of whatever week we're in, 12, whatever it is. It's kind of standard for everyone. I don't feel like I'm feeling any more than anyone else.
Fair enough. And then you mentioned Oxford off the top, and I should look this up, but what did you guys do in LA with that shooting? What did the team do? How can you be of help, I guess, to the community?
Yeah, obviously there was some financial help, but I think more than that was just being there for those families. We got to meet a lot of the families of the victims, came to practice, and then we had that Monday night game against the Chiefs where we hosted them there at that game, and it was just a special night, and to see them after the game, and just a week removed from losing a family member, the light of joy that we can provide to people in times like that, it's not to be understated, and it's part of our responsibility, I think, as leaders of the community, and just what we're able to do to help raise those people up and be there for them.
How powerful was that for you to experience behind closed doors, to talk to them, to hear stories, to console them? Yeah.
Very. I was younger at the time and probably didn't, fully grasp the gravity of it, but looking back, it's a very powerful moment in my career and in my life, just being able to be a supportive force for those people during that time.
Thank you.
Eric?
Hey, what's up, Jared? How you doing, man? Two questions for you, man. Not to cut, man. It's a weird transition after you saying something so powerful, but back on the football side of things, for you, how have you been able to? Have you developed any routines or anything mentally, physically to help yourself get through the season? I mean, all the losses that you guys have had, not falling in the process in the mental state of, hey, I'm losing. How have you got through that to just help yourself from week to week? Have you had a routine, or how have you, not falling into that mindset of losing?
Yeah, I think everyone has a routine. I have a routine that I've kind of built up over 6 years of playing, but I think every week you kind of evaluate, what did you do, what could you have done better, and then you have your points of emphasis during that week, and that's kind of in the same way this week. And with the way things have gone, especially this year, you can find some points of emphasis every week to get better at, and things that you want to work on.
We've asked you before about the play calling and Dan Campbell. He said that's something he want to improve at. Guys, the coaching staff helped him. How have you saw him, trying to adjust to becoming a better play caller? How would you describe his style? How's he, from week to week? How's it changed with him in this new role?
Yeah, I think he's getting more and more comfortable, and it's fun to see for me, obviously at quarterback and being the one he's communicating with. But I think everyone can feel it. His comfort level is starting to set in. Anytime you take something over like that in the middle of the season and haven't done it before, it's going to take a week or two. And I think he's really settled in this past week. And I know he'd be the first one to say he wants things back. But I think he's doing a great job and feel confident in him.
When he's talking to you, is he kind of chill or is he like fired up? Or like, how is he?
Very chill, very calm, and that's kind of how you like it as a quarterback. And obviously with his personality, you never know what you're going to get. But on game days, he's calm.
Appreciate it, Jared.
Ben?
Eric read my mind on that question. How much of an adjustment is he for having somebody else on the headset on game days, and just like how long does it take to get into a groove when that switch is made mid-season?
I've never been a part of a switch mid-season, so I don't know. But it's been pretty smooth so far. He's done a great job. Like I said, I've only had 2 games with him now, and obviously Pittsburgh was altered. So last week was kind of our first real full game plan. We were able to do some things, offensively. And I thought he did great. I thought he did really well. And I think, like I said, he's more critical on himself than anybody. But from my standpoint, everyone is feeling comfortable with him. He's done a great job.
Anybody else? Okay, thanks, Jared.
All right, guys. Thank you.
Good. All right, guys, if you want to leave your name in the chat, we can get started. Larry, you can go ahead.
Hi, Tracy. How are you?
Good, Larry. You?
I'm good. I saw your cleats on display. I thought they were pretty powerful. Can you just talk about the detail in your cleats and what they mean to you and what kind of message you hope they send?
It's just me continuing to speak on my cousin. I've been kind of doing that for like the last year, so it's just me continuing to push out his name, and with the conviction, with everything that's been going on with all that, I just felt that was another way of me continue to push out his name and continue to, basically just represent him and everything he stood for. So that's kind of what the whole plot and the whole theme of my cleats were. And they have Black Lives Matter. It's self-explanatory. Like I said, I know everybody says all lives matter, but in that situation, I want to represent my cousin. So,
just to quick follow up, the artwork on his face. Who did this, and just your thoughts on the image?
it was a guy that the team had pointed towards my way. I have another guy that does my cleats as well, and then he does a great job as well with the face and everything. So it all worked out. It all worked out great for me. It's just I didn't have to pay for these cleats this time, so that was the benefit of it.
Justin?
Hey Tracy, I want to stick with the topic. Obviously, asked you last week about the closing arguments in the case, and you were not sure which way it was going to go. Just your sense of relief in the way the verdict went in the case.
I'm sorry, can you repeat the question?
I was just wondering that what sense of relief did you experience when the verdict was read in the case last week?
Man, excitement. Hell, I called everybody back at home. I knew it was a party back in my hometown. I ain't gonna lie to you. It was a great day for me. Like I said, man, it's a sigh of relief. It's sad that we had to wait this long for actions to take place, but at the end of the day, we got to control what we control, and hey, we're happy with the verdict. So at the end of the day, we're gonna keep moving forward and keep on going.
Is it strange to you at all balancing those emotions? I mean, to go from the sadness or the anger, the frustration to, I mean, a bittersweet joy that maybe the verdict brought?
I wouldn't say that's straight. I just call it being human. Shit, we all have feelings and emotions, and regardless of circumstances, whether you feel bad about it, good or bad, some people probably felt like they didn't deserve that. I mean, who's to say that I can tell them that they're wrong? But at the end of the day, we all have opinions, and everybody's gonna have a different outlook on it, different take on it. But at the end of the day, for me and my family, and we just happy as hell. I ain't gonna lie to you. We man. Like I said, I can just sit here and smile all day about that situation because, yeah, I'm a firm believer they got what they deserve. So, yeah.
And then to just squeeze a football question in here. You've been playing well this season. I think we've all seen that. The one thing maybe lacking is a turnover. I feel like Amani has been stealing them all. What do you need to get that flipped around? What do you need to start getting on this turnover train?
Key word, what you said is I got to keep playing well. I ain't gonna go out here and try to force a play and try to force a turnover just so I can get a turnover and give up a touchdown. I mean, to be honest with you, I'm going out here and doing my job. When the plays come, if that play comes, then I'm gonna capitalize on it. Obviously, quarterbacks ain't trying to throw it my way or throw it in the vicinity for me to catch an interception. So it's kind of difficult. I mean, money, hey, we call them lucky charms around here because, hey, when it's coming to him, it's falling right in his lap. So, hey, God bless me. Hopefully I get one like that. But hey, in the meantime, I'm gonna continue to do what I do.
Thanks, Tracy.
All good.
Dave?
What does Amani say when you call him Lucky Charms? He realizes he's got some fortune on his side right now?
Me and him got a little insider. We got a little thing that we talk. I got a little thing called butters. And so yeah, if you drop a ball, you got butters. And so yeah. He don't want to hear me call him butters, so that's why he's trying to solidify and secure every pick except that first one. There you go.
Yeah, he doesn't have many butters. I guess maybe one in there. Just back to your cousin for 1 second. I guess I don't even know how to ask this, but does it bring closure to you at all? I mean, obviously he's still gone, and I know you still want to honor your cousin going forward. So, how do you do that going forward, and what did the verdict mean in that regard?
I'm just gonna keep supporting everything that it's about. My cousin, unfortunately, like you said, he's not gonna be able to come back. But at the end of the day, there's more people like my cousin that are out there that still have these problems and that still have to face the problems of being, how can I say this, subjected because of their color, or being looked at and looked down on because of their color. And it's sad to say, but at the end of the day, that's something that I'm trying to promote. Like I said, my cousin is just a outlook on it and something that I can personally speak on from personal experience. But at the end of the day, I said it's a whole lot of black people, it's a whole lot of colored people, it's a whole lot of Arabian, Mexican, Hispanic, you name it. It's a whole lot of people that's going through how would I say this? Racist subjection. So at the end of the day, that's what I'm promoting. I'm just trying to promote, man, treat everybody equally, see everybody, love everybody for who they is, and not the color of their skin, but who they is as a person.
Great. I appreciate that, Tracy. Thanks for always talking about this too and shedding some light for people.
Oh, good.
Eric?
Hey Tracy, one more question on that. Were you guys? How worried were you that they wouldn't get the right decision though? I mean, we saw so many times over and over where it's been these cases, it's been these situations, and it might not go the way that we almost immune to it in a sense. How did you feel? That going into it, were you nervous at all that they might not get it right? Like just your emotions entering before everything was announced.
Uh, yes, I'm not gonna sit here and say I was nervous. Like you said, it's a lot of situations where things have backfired on us. For example, the Trayvon Martin situation. I mean, that's one situation I can just off the top of my head sit back and look at. Like we thought that Zimmerman was supposed to get it, but hey, he did it. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, we can only control what we control. So yes, I can be nervous. Yes, I can sit here and be worried, but at the end of the day, I gotta control what I control, be supportive in the way I can support. So that's me going out with my cause, my plea. That's me speaking out on it right now. That's me doing what I can do, using my voice to help the situation. Like I said, I can't go home and excuse my language, but raise hell and oh they said he's not guilty or they're not guilty, so we're gonna go blow up my hometown. No, we can't do that. But at the end of the day, I can still provide awareness, continue to speak out on it, and just elaborate on it. So that's just my objective.
What do you hope this does for the Black community moving forward, though? Do you hope that more of these situations come out right on the right end?
It gives us hope, like you just said, hope. It gives us hope that you know what I'm saying that we're not we're not considered trash because like I know, and I like I said, it's hard to say this, but as a black person, you definitely understand what I'm saying. Like, it's when we get pulled over. I mean, we're scared that we could lose our life. You know what I'm saying? Or better yet, we're going to jail just off the top of our head. No matter if we had a red light, a light out, or we ran a stop sign. No matter what the case may be, as a black male getting pulled over by the police or getting pulled over, stopped by anybody, it's a problem. So I just feel like it gives us hope and confidence, more confidence for sure.
I appreciate it, man.
Oh, good.
Anybody else? All right, thanks, Tracy.
All right, y'all take it easy.
time. We'll start with Dave.
Sorry about that. Was taking this off video and mute here. Alex, I know you played with Zach Line, obviously in New Orleans. Have you spoken to him, reached out to him here in the last 24 hours or so?
Yeah, I shot him a text. He didn't get back to me. Obviously, it probably was dealing with all that, and I just shot him a text, just telling him, I'm here if he needs anything, and I'm 45 minutes away, so.
He's obviously, or no one, obviously, very few people have gone through a situation like this, and he certainly hasn't. But just knowing him, what sort of shoulder can he be for the community, for the players that he coaches to help them get through something like this?
Yeah, I was thinking about it. I feel like there's no better, person in that position to really get through, help the community get through a situation like this. I think that, as far as a person and a God-fearing person and all the things that you want in a leader in a situation like this, he has, and he's strong and he's faith-filled, so he'll be able to, help the community get through this, really bad time.
Just your experiences with him as a player. Is there anything you can point to as an example of, when you talk about him being strong and faith-filled, and maybe some of those traits that make him a leader, just the leadership that you saw from him?
Yeah, I mean, he was the type of guy, he wasn't a big rah-rah guy, but just the way he approached every day, the way he led by example and did his job and was a man of accountability. And, he was always reliable. I think that, he was never too high, never too low. Like I said, it just, as unthinkable of a situation this is that he's, in my opinion, I think God put him in this situation for a reason, and he'll be able to lead that community.
Thank you.
Justin?
I hate the awkward transitions at a time like this, but I'm going to shift to football if that's okay. You've already set a career high for snaps played in the season, and you've got 6 games remaining. I'm just wondering, one, can you feel that? I mean, can you feel the extra workload you've taken on this year? And I guess, how do you feel going into this stretch run?
Yeah, I think that, our season's kind of been weird in the sense that, the way our bye week timed up, the way this past weekend lined up, we're getting like ample of time to recover. And, our coaches do a good job of, getting us the rest when we need it. And they keep track of all of our, distance ran, explosive movements, all that type of stuff. They do a really good job as far as knowing when to, dial back on someone in practice and whatnot. But as far as my body feeling it, not really. I kind of just go with it, and that's a part of playing linebacker in the NFL.
And I'm not a superstitious person. I hope you're not. But durability was a question mark coming out of college for you, right? And obviously, year 2 ended with the shoulder injury, but you're now. Last season you played a lot of snaps, played 16 games. This year you're on track to blow that out of the water. What, if anything, have you changed, I guess, about your routine as a professional that's helped you stay healthy? And I guess, what sense of pride do you take in your newfound durability?
I think that just sticking to my routine, and even when you have days that you don't necessarily feel like doing it, or you feel like your body's good, especially, for example, this Monday when we had the long weekend and got off our feet a ton, I was still in here, getting my massage and doing all the work that I need to do just to get ahead rather than, playing catch up after the game.
Thanks, Alex.
Mike?
Yeah, Alex, I just wonder what you think about your team. What can you do now to do a better job of protecting leads late in the game?
Mm-hmm. I think just, being situational awareness is always like, if you look at the best teams in the NFL, that's probably the number one trait that as a group that, that team has. And I think that, as we've had, I don't even know how many 1-score games that we've had. It's been a lot. I think that, as you grow and as you get older and wiser and more experienced, and these younger guys get in those certain situations, you just have to learn from the film and continue to grow. And I think that you're seeing that in certain situations that we've been playing in.
you sound hopeful when you talk about that. Like, in other words, you're seeing something good coming out of it, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, our record is what it is, but we always want to strive to be better, and that's part of being an NFL player. That's part of being a professional. It's just to be the best at what you do. We all have different reasons why we play, and we all want to be the best player that we can be.
All right, great, thank you.
Larry?
No one wants to win a game more than you guys do. Can you put into words like how much you want to win, how much it is like, a 24/7 thought, or do you get away from it? Are you consumed by it?
I wouldn't say we're consumed by it. We're definitely desperate for a win. Just to, for me personally, I think Jamal said in the locker room after, we want to get a win for these rookies because they haven't got a taste of it yet. And, I think that's really important as far as building a culture and building, precedents going forward. But yeah, I think we're desperate for one, and it doesn't consume us because all we can do is control each day one at a time and one play at practice at a time, and just keep getting better.
When did Jamal say that in the locker room?
Post game.
Thank you.
Dave, last one.
Hey, I'll be real quick. Just two things. First, I saw the picture that you posted the other day of your baby at the game. First one, or have you been? Yeah.
Yep. First one was actually my wife didn't tell me that she was going to go to the game because it is a big ordeal. He's a 10-month-old, so he's kind of all over the place with his nap schedule and everything like that. So she didn't tell me because she didn't want to distract me. But as I was walking back to the tunnel at halftime, I saw him in the front row, and I couldn't be happier. It's probably like one of the best moments as an NFL player for me.
Yeah, no, he's not going to remember any of it, but you will. I mean, that's right. How great was that? Yeah.
yeah. Even though he's not going to remember, I mean, he'll have pictures, but he's not going to remember it. I think that it's just a special moment for my family.
Right. And then I did want to ask you one thing defensively. You guys have allowed 16 or fewer points 3 straight games, and just what does that say about the defense, I guess, and sort of where you are, where you've come from, to be there now defensively?
Yeah, I think we're growing and we're doing some good stuff. The good thing about it is that guys aren't satisfied and guys aren't content with where we're at. I think that we're like last week where we had a situation where we could have closed out the game and won it for the team, even though we did keep them was it 13 points at the time? I forget. Yeah, something like that. It was a low-scoring game, and we did keep the guys are striving to win those situations and really hold them to 0 points. So like I said, our record is what it is, but guys are striving to be better than what we've been doing.
What's your son's name, by the way?
Cooper.
Cooper.
Yep.
Awesome. All right, thank you.
Cool. Thanks, Alex.
Yep. Thank you.